some forms of interaction, and then boom, draw phase
there's
shifter.
The shifter. Wow, and quarter century secret rare. That makes a statement, doesn't it?
It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful lingering effect.
We'll take a look to the hand here. I could definitely see what appears to be Mementotlin Sleepy there, and possibly an Anguish as well as a Dark Blade. But
as well as the Bone Party quick play spell, I believe.
That is Bone Party. But I don't know if it's party time just yet. Could technically activate in response to the Dimension Shifter, but looks like going to go ahead and pass there and allow it to resolve.
And it's looking like he's thinking if he wants to start with Dark Blade, he will be starting with Mementillion Dark Blade. This will allow him to discard one memento and then target a spell and trap card to potentially destroy it, or he can search his deck. He can destroy a memento monster he controls to search his deck, which he's going to now select to destroy Dark Blade, banish it using the effect of Shifter. And I think here we could get Tatsu, but because he doesn't have any more memento monsters to destroy, he won't be able to get the Foolish Effect to Grave, and even if he could, Dimensional Shifter's in the way here too. It
is going to be difficult. For those at home who are wondering why he has a 40-card extra deck, it's not. There's a left-hand accommodation here. You can always ask your judge if you're left-handed. We are not trying to make you play the hard way.
That's why the zones are not actually marked with like the pendulum scales or anything else.
Oh yeah, whenever she summons, she has a momentum on.
Now we can hear our players talking to each other here. We have the Anguish searching for that Tatsu, like I said.
No monsters or just memento monsters?
Probably one of the most incredible memento monsters.
Allows it just to get all those names you need in your graveyard as quickly as possible.
Well, there's no graveyard here, though, so it might be saved for a later turn.
Yeah, it looks like Clifton did draw a lot of sort of interactions in the hand, things like Nibiru, things like Impermanence. He's probably comfortable just setting those and hoping that his opponent maybe can't play under Shifter as well as he hoped. Obviously, because his opponent main deck Shifter, he's like, he probably has a way to play over that. So I wonder how far he's going to go before he goes, all right, that's enough. Let's see if we can survive.
Oh, so it looks like a Link summon here with the Anguish and the Tatsuno Toshigo into just an SP Little Knight, holding it down. Absolutely right there. Decent pieces of interaction. Certainly can wait to get to the next turn. Use that Bone Party to basically set up an entire Memento combo next turn if we get there. But let's see what it is that Jeremy does on his first turn here.
Ooh, and that top deck of Tenpai Dragon Pydra is huge. I think...
Wow.
Put my advantage right here.
Both players just having a fun little time here. It's always exciting playing cards like Raigeki. You know, just those OG staples that are still powerful to this day.
Certainly a classic from Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Not having the protection of Tank against summoning the field spell to stop this Hydra from being interacted with is super huge. I think
he's the best.
Kaiman is going to be just enough here, getting that Chandra, allowing him to keep playing even through his own Shifter. Will be super cool. I forget exactly what the line is for the deck because you won't have access to Bite and Dragon to bring back all your cards from the graveyard. But I wonder if Jeremy can just get enough damage here.
Well, there's our first attack here. So Chandra going in and going to go ahead and bring in another Pydra.
And both these guys have not activated their effects to quick Synchro Summon.
15. So that puts you to...
Life points going down. 4,800 there.
And then we could just go for a big level 10. That is 3,000 attack.
I'm talking
Should be good enough.
Just making sure we're on the same page.
Yeah, so
31?
3,100.
Yeah, it's 3,100 life points left for Clifton here. Just figuring out how much more he can probably get. Going to be banishing these two because of the effect of Shifter. Going to be Synchro Summoning from the extra deck.
This might be it, actually, just with a little bit more quick synchroing like that. Here comes the Sangenpai Biden Dragon.
And then we use the effect of Hydra now to quick Synchro Summon. We can go to a level 10, and boom, there's the damage.
Harder? Yeah.
But this...
500.
But I think Nibiru can be... Nope, Nibiru cannot be activated because of the Transcendence Dragon's Battle Phase effect. Your opponent cannot activate effects, and I believe...
Look like Anguish, Bone Party, Ash Blossom, Cranium Burst, and Fracture Dance. So some really good Memento setups.
He did decide to side in that Fracture Dance, which is pretty exciting.
That one...
destroys Memento on my field or hand, and then summons or adds Memento.
So here we see the Bone Party being activated, allowing him to summon some Mementos, and there we see the Chain of Ash Blossom negating that effect.
Now the good news here is you can use that Bone Party later for a little piercing battle damage by banishing it from the grave, but curious to see... Oh, that's right. You know, the Fracture Dance, when you banish it, that's the 1,000 attack reduction. So a lot of great options already here, but we're just going to summon Sleepy.
It was Sleepy, yeah.
Yeah, okay,
so... based off the old Dawn monsters.
Yeah.
During the turn...
Yeah, it's pointing out that the Mementillion theme is themed after a lot of really older cards. Like, I think it was also Trihorn Dragon, Dark Blade,
Ghost in the Attic.
Ghost in the Attic.
A lot of fun ones in there, sort of blasts from the past blasting back. But
I think Sleepy is Cable Sheep #1 or something like that, #2 maybe?
Stand by. Maybe.
Well, no time for the past. The future is now, thanks to Pydra.
Back to Pydra, search for a Sangan Speller Trap card. Let's see which one he gets. Probably going to be Kaiman or Sangan Summoning.
So you can definitely get rid of the field spell here with the effect of the Fracture Dance, but it's going to be difficult to decide if that's what you want to jump in.
I'll use the effect.
Chain Fracture.
Okay, we are going to go ahead and claw right through that.
So he's going to pop his own Sleepy to get rid of the Sangan Summoning field spell.
Any triggers?
Nothing.
Pick a sleepy.
He lets you send.
Dumps a memento.
Sure.
So now we're going to activate Sleepy's effect to send from deck to graveyard a Memento monster. Again, almost all the effects of Memento happens on board and in grave. If they're in the grave, they can do something. If they're in play, they can do something. And here we're seeing Gaddock.
It summons himself from the graveyard whenever he sends.
Ghost in the Attic has reincarnated himself, and it's a great card again, too, because he is going to come right back to the field there.
And by the way, I don't know if we mentioned this, but Clifton does play a Fiendsmith engine inside of his deck, which is very exciting because we do have access to a lot of different feed monsters, not just Gaddock and stuff like that as well.
Bone Party not doing too much from the graveyard there.
But could come up later once we're trying to attack with combined creation and stuff like that. Again, if you're ever someone who's playing against a deck you're unfamiliar with, like Jeremy seems to be here when he's fighting against Memento, it's always good. Take a second here before you make your next play, assess what your opponent has access to, and then go from there. So here we're going into battle.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Not a whole lot you could do from Clifton's perspective here, right? You put whatever you could on the field, but with those cards in the hand, you're just hoping to live through this turn.
This is the big one. And that's why we saw, I think Jeremy either drew Shifter for turn or didn't choose to activate it for the very first turn because he knew he might want to access his graveyard for the going for game combos he's going to try to achieve this turn.
Really good foresight there to think, okay, you know, I've had my opponents on the rope the first duel, but I think now I don't actually need to press that hard and I get access to my graveyard by not discarding Shifter.
Also, I do see the Kaiman already in Jeremy's hand again.
This could be painful.
I think it's safe to assume that he has it when he searches for Sangan Summoning, which is the Pydra, especially going second, where you don't really necessarily need to protect your guys as hard.
I will declare an attack. Anything.
Not a whole lot could be done here. Clifton assessing what few options he has.
I think maybe Clifton's trying to save his Ash Blossom for that Kaiman, but if Jeremy reads that and then just goes automatically into Transcendence, that could be pretty big.
Oh, during the turn a monster is destroyed by a card effect, it can quick effect summon itself in my hand.
Okay.
And then on summon it if you
Yeah, Clifton's like, let me just build the wall of Memento monsters to try to protect myself. And there we see the quick effect. Going into Transcendence Dragon. I believe Shili will still be able to resolve because I think Transcendence says you can't activate effects.
But the Sleepy's first part of the effect was to summon. It's the on-summon effect to be the fusion summon, so we're locked out from now. And Clifton didn't even try. I think he's already aware as the Sangan Kaiman is activated to get out the Fadra.
And then Fadra will be able to reborn any of the Tenpai dragons that are in the graveyard. He's going to get Chandra.
400 and 1,000.
Yeah, all the Memento monsters are pretty weak because they're based off of old normal monsters.
With some strange stats, it's always nice to see 2850 printed on some cards.
Always exciting.
He's dead.
And then we have another Pydra coming down, swinging Fadra.
17.
Yep, and then 3K after that with the Transcendence Dragon.
So that's puts you at 63. 3,000 puts you to 33.
Just counting down the life points here.
And then
I think it's just a matter of what's the best route to go here. I think going for, using the effect of Bind Dragon to summon itself back, 26 more damage, and then just any quick synchro.
Yep.
And then one more attack, and that's game.
And our climactic finisher is brought to you by